Okay, so let's talk about what is required for you to be able to multiply two matrices together. On the board here, I have two matrices that I'm trying to multiply, and as they are written right now, these two matrices actually are able to be multiplied together. Even though this first one and the second one obviously don't have the exact same dimensions, that's not required like it was with the matrix addition and subtraction. So let's look at something specific about the dimensions that is in fact required to be able to multiply them. I'm going to use this red marker to kind of make this a little bit more visual. This dimension here in this matrix, which is 2, has to match this dimension of the second matrix. So I see here in this matrix I have 2 columns, and in this matrix here I have 2 rows. Okay, so since this dimension across here is 2 and this dimension up and down here is 2, I will be able to multiply these matrices. That might seem a little bit weird. I haven't showed you the process yet. I'm just trying to talk right now about what is required to be able to multiply them, and you'll start to see why that's required once I start to show you the algorithm or the process that we use to do this. Just another real quick thing, if you know how to find the dimensions of the matrix, I'm going to write the dimensions of each of these down underneath here to show you another trick for being able to tell if you can multiply these or not. You just have to make sure that you're writing the dimensions the correct way, or else this is going to cause problems for you. So remember, dimensions are rows by columns. So when I look at this first matrix here, it has 1, 2, 3 rows. Rows run horizontally. So this has 3 by 2. It has 2 columns right there. So this first matrix, if you think back to the assignment where I was asking you to figure out the dimensions of the matrix, this right here is a 3 by 2 matrix. This second matrix right here, I'm going to go ahead and write its dimensions down as well. It has 2 rows, so it would be a 2 by, and it has 2 columns, so it would be a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so if you can write those dimensions like that right next to one another, the dimension of the first matrix and the dimension of the second matrix that you're trying to multiply, if these two things are the same right here, it's a check mark. You can go ahead and multiply these matrices. Here's the other cool thing about doing it this way. If you write it out like this, these other 2 numbers here, this 3 and this 2, actually tell you the dimensions of the product. So the product, after you multiply this, will be a 3 by 2 matrix, meaning it will have 3 rows and 2 columns looking a lot like this first matrix right here as far as its dimensions go. So that's a pretty cool way, I think, to tell whether you can multiply the matrices as well as also learn what the dimension of the product is going to be. Just write the dimension of the first one, write the dimension of the second one right after it. If these middle 2 numbers match, you can certainly multiply those matrices, and then these outer 2 numbers will give you the dimensions of the product that you should end up with. Thanks for watching.